On.
Wait, not yet.
It's connecting. You're like,
All right. We are live, yes? Okay, we are live. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, thank you for being here. My name is Marissa, and this is Website Wednesdays. I came up with that like yesterday. I did my first Facebook Live here last week, and I mentioned that I would be going live every single week here on Facebook, and I decided to put some structure around that. And so, what we're going to be doing every Wednesday is reviewing a website or two or three. And I'm going to go through and do a critique, AKA a helpful review. So, that's what we are doing today. And today is the very first one that we're doing. But I wanted to first give you an overview because, when you think of the word critique, it's like, wait, what? So you're just gonna talk smack live and so other people can see it? That's not what this is. So I will be reviewing people's websites, that not like people that have volunteered, that have raised their hand and said, hey, will you review my website? I'm not like the website internet website police, and I'm not gonna go around and like trolling on people's sites or anything like that. So these critiques, like I said, they are meant to help you be able to hone in on your message even more. They are meant to give you ideas so that you can show up online with more clarity, with more confidence. So I want these critiques to give you ideas. I want them to help you look at things a certain way, and of course, like learn things about websites or on the creative portion or tech portion that you maybe didn't know before. That's the purpose of this. And the purpose of doing it not one-on-one like in private, the purpose of doing it live here on my Facebook page is because, when you watch other people have breakthroughs or learn new things and you see how they interpret certain things, it helps you be able to take that information, their experience, and apply it to yourself. If you want, you don't have to. But it's so helpful to see other people learn and go through it, and then you can say, oh, okay, I can use that. That one doesn't really serve me. This one does. And you get ideas for your own stuff, ideas for your own website. So that is the purpose. Like I said, these website critiques are not meant to put you on blast, embarrass you, or talk smack. They are meant to help out. So that's what we're going to focus on every Wednesday. So just a few things. Like I said, every Wednesday, I will share the exact time at least 24 hours before. And my hope is to keep these under 15 minutes. Today, we are only going to be reviewing one website, but because I'm doing this whole intro thing. But moving forward, my goal is to review two to three websites, depending on time and depending how in-depth I get into it and depending on how much feedback people want. So that is the goal with these website Wednesday reviews. And so I want to mention, there is no right or wrong way to go about your website, okay? So it's very much like, how social media, and that includes Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and all the things, it's kind of like the wild, wild west, right? Like anything goes. People are doing stuff that is working amazing for them, and then other people try to do that and it doesn't work for them. Everybody's just doing whatever they are doing and learning as they go. Websites are kind of the same thing. Like people are doing these like super complicated, beautiful art, like massive websites, and then there's other people that have like a landing page, and that works for them. So I don't want to come on here and try to fake the funk and say that you have to go by with everything that I say. That is not the case. Like I said at the beginning, I am not the internet website police person, and I don't want to be that. So anything I say here, whether I review your website or whether you hear this for somebody else's review, they're just meant as input, as a different perspective, as a guideline for you to take what serves you and for you to leave what doesn't. So that's very important that you understand, because then if you try to take what somebody says and like force it into you, sometimes it just doesn't feel like, sometimes you're like, I know she said this and she's, you know, she's a website strategist and a brand coach, but if that doesn't work for you, then don't force it. There's a difference between like if it doesn't work for you and like you're scared to put yourself out there. But that's a topic for another day. But that's something important that I wanted to mention. There are a few guidelines that are just that, guidelines. And I will mention that as we go. Like there are certain things that your website should absolutely have, whether it's by law, or if your purpose in your business is to do a certain thing, then if your purpose in your business is to book calls, then you should probably have like a calendar available. So those things are kind of like, not, I shouldn't say obvious, but they're kind of guidelines that you should definitely listen to. That's what we'll call those. And so the guidelines that I use, or the different aspects that I'm going to go through when I review these websites, there's 3 different things that I look at. I might modify this or change this as I go, but as of right now, there's 3 different things that I look at. Number 1, the visual branding of a website. So this includes colors, photos, and the overall aesthetic of a website. That's one thing that I'll be looking at. Second thing is the messaging. This is the words, the copy, and the overall message that your website conveys to people. And number 3 is the functionality. So is it user-friendly? How do things work? And do they function? Do they work? And if I were to check your website on mobile, whether on a phone or an iPad, like how does that work? So those are the 3 things: visual branding, messaging, and functionality that I look at when I do these reviews. So I invited my email newsletter, and I posted this on my Instagram and on my Facebook. And I asked people, do you want me to review your website? If you do, send it over and I'll put you on the list. I got such an awesome response, and it made me so excited because I wasn't sure what kind of response I would get, but I love that people are so willing to be better, to get better, to improve, even if it's a field that they may not feel so confident in. Like I got a lot of people that said, I did it myself and I would love some input. Or people said like, please don't laugh, but here's my website. And a lot of people said like, I'm a little nervous, but go ahead, you know, here's mine. I want to add it to the mix. But I love that people, like, they went and they did their thing, and they're not just like, okay, I'm done, I'm never going to look at that again. They're like, okay, how can I improve? How can I help change this or modify this to grow my business, to strengthen my personal brand, to connect with more people? So I love that. I love that. I love the response that I got. If you would like to be included in the mix and in my list that I'm kind of keeping to have your website reviewed here, then you can drop it in the comments below, or you can send me a private message here on Facebook, or if you're watching, whether you're watching live or the replay, or if you're watching this on Instagram or another platform, send me a message or drop it in the comments and I will add your website to the mix. So here is where we're really going to get into this. By the way, I had this really nice slide prepared, this one. And I forgot to include it at the beginning of my little intro. So welcome to Website Wednesday. Today we are going to be we're going to be reviewing and critiquing a lifestyle blog. So I guess it's appropriate that I mention that here, that I share this slide here. We're going to review a lifestyle blog, and here is the thing. It is my lifestyle blog. Now, I didn't want to start these Website Wednesday reviews / critiques with my stuff because I think it's great. That's not it at all. It's because when I got all of the responses from people that were willing to do this with me, like I said, I heard a lot of people say, you know, I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to expect and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I need to walk my walk and talk my talk. And that's something that I say often. So here is a little bit of backstory, and then I promise we will get into the website portion of this video. So right now I am one half of the Meraki Collective. I am a brand coach and website strategist, and we help health we help coaches and consultants, a lot of them health coaches is guess what I was trying to say, and professional service providers get online with clarity and confidence with gorgeous and strategic websites. Before the Meraki Collective and currently, I am also obsessed with fitness and wellness. And on top of that, my previous business, I was a photographer. I had a wedding photography business. So that whole mix of wellness, fitness, wellness, and lifestyle and I'm vegan, so plant-based, like that lifestyle mixed with photography. Before I started the Meraki Collective, I had gone through a few versions of a lifestyle blog. So I don't remember when well, I guess we'll see once we start the review when the last time was that I updated it. So that's the little backstory. That is the website that we're going to review, because there are a lot of people that read my stuff or come across my work here on the Meraki Collective that are like, well, I don't really have a business yet. I just have a blog, or I'm kind of starting a lifestyle brand and I'm not too sure where I'm going with it. So I want to start here, not only because that's a great place to start, and because I want to walk my walk and talk my talk, like I said, and put my stuff on blast first. And as a side note, I will never be as ruthless as I'm going to be today on my own stuff with anybody else's stuff. So if you watch this today and you're like, dang, she's mean, or she's like dropping some truth bombs there, it's because it's my own stuff. So and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. But if you include your website in this mix, I promise I won't be as ruthless as I'm probably going to be in a little bit. So anyway, so that's why I wanted to start here, because I know it will resonate with a lot of people. If you are in the health and wellness space, and even if you're not, if you are trying to start or want to start a lifestyle blog or brand of any sorts, I hope that the things I'm going to review today give you some insight into what you should and maybe should not do, or just kind of give you ideas to move forward as you continue in your creative endeavors. So that's where I have my list of notes, because I knew that I was just gonna like fire hose and just go on and on and on. So I have a little list here to keep me on check. So let's start there. I mentioned what this is. Once again, it is my lifestyle blog that revolved around fitness, wellness, health, and photography. I don't know if I mentioned this a few seconds ago, but I also teach fitness like for fun as my passion. Like I love websites and branding and all this stuff that I do at the Meraki Collective. I love it. My passion though is with that stuff I mentioned, with fitness, I love running, I love plant-based stuff, I'm all these things. So this lifestyle blog, that's what that is. My personal brand separate from the Meraki Collective. That's what I want you to understand. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen here, and so you should be able to see that on your end. So my personal brand, like I mentioned, the website name is marissarodriguez.com. Please note that the work I do here at the Meraki Collective, you can find it at themerakicollective.com. This is a totally separate blog. So let's get into it. I'm always going to point out the positives, the things that I like. I'm going to talk about that first. I love this image here, and this is weird because I'm talking about myself. So I'm like, how do I go about that in my own website? Anyway, I'm going to pretend that this is somebody else. I love this image here. It is so inviting and bright, and I kind of get a feel already that this is a lifestyle thing, right? So this is what is considered a blog site. Basically, it's the homepage is the blog. It's not necessarily something I would recommend. That is something that I can get to on another day. But this is a blog site. This is the homepage, and as you can see when I scroll down, it is the blog. So I love the header image. I love the style of like the font. I love that it's bold and it's got a nice contrast with the other copy. And then as I scroll down, I like that I can see a picture of myself or of the blogger. And as you can see, there are several posts here. So it's not just empty, and that's always a good thing. Another positive is that there is an option almost immediately to sign up. If I click here, to sign up to a newsletter. This is so important. whether you are in the health and wellness space, I don't care what space you're in, you should be starting a newsletter. I'll get into more detail with that in other videos. So I'm loving that, and I love that the colors feel bright. If I focus on the visual branding aspect of this, it's pretty clean, right? It's pretty clean, it's white, and what stands out to me are the colors of the photos. And that I like. It doesn't feel too crazy busy or anything like that. So now let's get into the messaging. All right. So it says food, fitness, and that self-love life. Plant-based goodness and fitness experiments for your inner ninja. Here is the big problem that I have with that. And again, this is stuff that I've been wanting to update and I just haven't done it because I haven't done it. But coming this summer, this will be totally redone. You can come back and be like, whoa, that's such an improvement. So the big problem that I have with that is that I don't know what you actually do for me. So if I'm somebody that landed on this page via Instagram or somebody recommended it or whatever the case, I know, okay, you're going to talk about food, you're going to talk about fitness and self-love, but also what does that do for me? How does that change my life? And this is the number one thing that I talk to with people, whether they're my clients or people that I have one-on-one consultations with. As soon as somebody lands on your website, they should be able to know how you help them. How are you going to make their life better? If you can't get that down in the first few seconds, chances are there's no real reason for them to continue to stay on your website. I'll repeat this over and over again every week as I do these reviews, but that's the number one thing here. I'm confused about what this person can do for me. I see on the side here that it says it's a lifestyle blog by Marissa. Obviously, that's the person's name. But okay, so do you teach me how to eat plant-based food? Do you teach me how to be a ninja with fitness stuff? Do you teach me how to love myself, or do you just talk about how you found that self-love life? Like, what is this doing for me? Does that make sense? As I scroll down, I see that the last blog post, oh gosh, I'm totally putting myself on blast here. The last blog post was June 1st, 2019. Yo, we are like in the second quarter of 2020. That is not acceptable. If you have a blog site or a blog and you have not updated it in like almost a year, please go update your blog. And if you plan to no longer blog, then maybe do one last blog post where you say, I plan to no longer blog, so that when people land on your blog, it's not like, oh, okay, so what happened? Are they still doing that? Like, what's going on? That's definitely another issue that I have here. And then over on the right with this photo, I like that there's a clear photo. I know who the person is. It says, hola, hello, aloha. That I like because it's kind of like quirky. It shows personality a little bit. And it says, I'm a photographer, marathon runner, proud auntie, and lifestyle blogger based in Hawaii. Okay. So many things here. One, again, I don't know what you do for me. You're a photographer, great. What kind of photographer? Like, do you do weddings? Do you do portraits? Do you do food photography? Like, why do I need to know that you're a photographer? Marathon runner, cool, proud auntie, lifestyle blogger based in Hawaii. That part right there. You guys, I don't even live in Hawaii anymore. So I am quite in the total opposite of Hawaii. I am currently in Arizona. So that should have been updated. Like I said, I haven't been updating this blog, but no excuses. That should be updated, because if somebody is like, hey, I found a really awesome photographer in Hawaii. I like her style. I like her vibe. Hey, guess what? I don't live there anymore. So I'm misleading. Like that's terrible. If you have a website or a blog, whatever, or even like your social media, and you are no longer in the location where it says that you are, please update it. These links are all working correctly. I check them they go to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, so that's good. On the functionality end of things, make sure that all links on your website are working. So here we have explore, we have plant-based, fitness, and lifestyle. Great. So I'm assuming that if I click on this, there will be plant-based stuff, fitness stuff, and lifestyle stuff. If I keep scrolling forward, you can see, all these blog posts, like I said, are from 2019. let's see. Let's go back to the newsletter sign up. If I click sign up here, it says sign up for the free newsletter, stay in touch, and get VIP access to freebies every month. I just keep digging myself into a deeper hole. Of course, I decided to do the first critique of my own stuff that I have not updated. Okay. If you have a newsletter pop up like this and you are inviting people to get on your newsletter, you need to tell them this is so vague. A free newsletter, stay in touch, get access to freebies. Like, okay, what kind of freebies? Are they going to be photography, plant-based, or fit? Like, what? Are you going to talk to me about Hawaii or your dog? Like, what are you going to give me every month to excite me or make me feel interested to sign up? This doesn't like make me jump out of my chair and be like, yeah, I'm so ready. I'm so excited to get those every month. And another thing is, because I am the owner of this website and I am the slacker of this website, I can tell you that I have not been sending my audience freebies every single month. I talk to my audience on the Meraki Collective, but like I said, this particular thing is like more of a passion project for me. So if you have something like this that's super vague, number one, tighten it up. Make it super clear what people can expect from you or what they're going to get from you in exchange for their email address. And number two, don't make these promises that you're not going to keep. So in this case, my intention when I started this years ago was to update people at least every month. But since I've changed my purpose and what I'm doing with this in particular, I should have also gone to change this and not included that every month. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. See, this is what happens when I'm nervous. Now I start like saying random things because I'm like, oh God, I probably should have looked at this and like updated a few things before putting myself on blast. But you know, this is okay and this is good because it motivates me to put this on my project list and get this updated. And then I'll show you the before and after. Ooh, that'll be a good one. I'll do another review later this summer, a before and after of this. So that is that. Let's move forward. So we have this continues on. The Instagram here is working. If you have some type of like Instagram preview window plugin down here on your website, make sure that it's working, that it's updated. A lot of times I see websites that they have the little box for the Instagram stuff, but it's not updated, or they change their Instagram profile, their Instagram handle. And so this is all like a bunch of gray boxes. So this, I'm giving myself a little point here. And then again, we have let's keep in touch, plant-based goodness and fitness experiments straight to your inbox. This one, and it leads you to the same pop-up. This one I like better because although it's still very vague, at least I didn't say every month and then I don't show up every month. So I am going to focus on just the homepage for today because I know I've gone over time already because of my intro and all that stuff. So those are the main things that I would say for this blog site. And if you are a lifestyle blogger, if you are starting a lifestyle brand, or if you are starting any business or have a business in the health and wellness space, when people land on your website, do they know right away how you help them? How do you make their life better? The next thing was the date. Are you updating regularly, especially if you have a blog? And if you're not, it's okay, but maybe let your audience know that. Again, if you have anything here on the side, make sure that it's specific and that it matches, that it mirrors what you have here on the top so that people know, again, how do you help me transform my life? And we talked about the pop-up. That was the other thing. Make it clear, specific, and don't promise things that you're not going to keep. And I'm not going to go over the About Me page and categories, even though, I know that there's stuff that I could, we're not going to get into that. There's stuff that needs to be fixed there too. I'm going to pull up my screen once again. All right, there it is. So there you have it. The first website Wednesday critique/review. I hope that was helpful for you. I want to get through hopefully a whole website. So my intention was to also do the About Me and the categories and the contact section, but there was a lot. There was a lot on that personal brand blog site that needs to be fixed. So I kind of, I put myself on blast and did that a little bit more detailed there. So if you have any questions, please send me a message or drop them in the comments below, regardless of which platform you are watching on. Again, I'll be doing this every single week with a different website. Next week is, thank goodness, it's not going to be my website. If you want to look at a good website, it'll be go to the MerakiCollective.com. That one I'm much more confident about, and I've put in some real work there. And you know what? Even that, like, I could look at our current website and I could still improve and modify. So this whole like website game, it will evolve. Just as your business and your brand evolves over time, so will your website and your overall online presence. But the goal here is to not stay stuck, is to not do because you don't know how to move forward. If you don't have a website, I hope that these critiques help you and inspire you to put something out there. And if you do have a website and you hold back from sharing it because you did it yourself and it's not good enough, make some small tweaks, some small modifications, and get out there. Share your message. Don't be like my personal brand where it's just like over to the side. More on that coming soon though. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Again, I would love to include your website in the mix. Send me a message, drop me a comment in below. And like I said, I am one half of the Meraki Collective. My business partner and husband, Eddie, we help coaches, consultants, and professional service providers get online with clarity and confidence with gorgeous and strategic websites. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what you thought of this, if this was helpful, and I'll see you around. I'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone. Have a fantastic day.